Hi, it's Hayley, and this week I want to talk about what I love most about studying away. This week, of course, I could not make this video without really hitting on Mardi Gras. So I am in New Orleans, and it is the home of Mardi Gras, or Fat Tuesday, the day before the beginning of Lent in the Catholic religion. It's very, very popular here. People come from all over just to see the parades and to celebrate. It essentially is something that lasts probably 5 days, but I really just wanted to kind of show that and explain the day I had and talk about the things that are Mardi Gras. So instead of going to the French Quarter like I always do, I actually decided to go to what we call the Garden District, and it's like a beautiful like half neighborhood, half like shops and like eateries and stuff like that. And so there's all these beautiful custom homes that were all decorated with Mardi Gras things, and there's all these little boutiques and vintage shops and costume shops. There's food, coffee, so I of course stopped for some coffee in a coffee place I'd never been to before for some breakfast. And then I probably walked a collective just throughout the day, like a whole 4 miles, but it didn't even feel like that far because everything's so close, and it was just a lot of fun. So after getting breakfast, I kind of just walked along and had a really early start, so by the time I started walking down the Garden District or Magazine Street, it was only like noon or like 11:30. And so I was just walking and strolling. There were a lot of shops that actually weren't open, but it wasn't really that big of a deal because there were enough just to like go into and just enough sights to see. It's so green here in New Orleans, and so that was really fun just to like see a neighborhood I'd never been into before. And so I just kept walking all the way down Magazine Street. It's a really long street, but I just kept walking to see what I could find, see what kind of shops I could find, what kind of just like sights I could see, decorations, and just all the houses. And finally I could hear the people, and I knew I was near a parade. This was essentially kind of like a parade chase, because I really didn't know where to find a parade, but I knew there would be one nearby. So eventually I did find one. The floats were huge, and they had their like crew members. They're called crews, and they all have their own like parade. And I'm not really sure which crew it was, but they were all on their floats. They were throwing beads, throwing tiny footballs, throwing streamers, there was confetti, and it was so cool. There was people, there was barricades, things were all barricaded off, and people were, like the groups were growing, and you could just like see people catching everything and waving their hands to get things thrown at them, and so that was really cool to see as well. And overall, towards the end, it started raining really hard, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to get back to my room and back to the university. I was tired, I was getting kind of hungry, and it was rough there for a second, but you really just have to take your time and kind of just go with the flow. You can't be in a rush here in New Orleans because no one's ever in a rush. Everyone's calm and just trying to enjoy themselves, so you kind of just have to like take a deep breath. And finally I did find a bus that was able to take me back to the university, and so that was really cool, and that was nice to finally just kind of get to relax. But everything was so cool to look at. All the neighborhoods were my favorite, with all of the giant trees and all of the decorations for Mardi Gras. And of course, one last thing that really tops it all off, besides the concept that this is a really large city and it's beautiful and it's busy and it's just so cool, and it's exactly where I wanted to be while studying hotel restaurant management. I kind of wanted to live that kind of tourism aspect of it, because I've never been to such a place that's so popular for tourism. But the weather, especially right now, like I know it gets really humid and really hot when it's summer, but just the winter has been so mild. It doesn't get cooler than like 49 degrees if it's going to be cold on a day. and it doesn't snow. It does rain a lot, which I'm okay with because I'm from somewhere that is actually really sunny. So it's a nice little change, but the weather is beautiful. Today was like one of the most beautiful days that I've ever lived through, and it was just so nice, and I wish every day could feel like today did. So that is all I have for this week. Enjoy all the footage that I was able to capture. I know I enjoyed capturing it. Today was a really good day overall, and I hope it kind of just emphasizes why it's so cool to kind of get out of your comfort zone and go somewhere and travel to places that you've never been to before. So thank you, and that's it. Have a great week.